Huawei has announced the Huawei Mate S. While many of the headlines are stolen by flagship brands, Huawei has been chipping away with what it calls affordable premium devices. Huawei Mate S design. The Huawei Mate S has a full metal body, using the sort of zero-gap construction that was popularized by HTC and is now found on the iPhone 2. The build quality on the Mate S appears to be good based on the short time we've had with it. It might only be 2/3 of the price of some of its rivals, but there's no telling from the bodywork. From the precision drilling of the speaker grills on the bottom, to the curves at the edge of the 2.5D display, this is a device that screams quality, rather than screaming less expensive. The Huawei Mate S measures 149.8 x 75.3 x 7.2 mm and weighs 156 grams. That's a good weight for a device that's 5.5 inches, and the size is pretty close to HTC's One M9 Plus, which is 0.3 in smaller on the display. So it's a well-proportioned device, showing good build quality, and it also feels good in the hand too. There's perhaps the sense that it's not as solid as HTC's all-metal handsets, but we like the feel of the Huawei Mate S and our first impressions of the design and build are good. Huawei Mate S display and Force Touch. There's a 5.5-inch Amoled display with a 1920 x 1080 pixel resolution, giving you 401 ppi. That's one of the areas where there's a slight step down from some devices. The Samsung is Quad HD at 2560 x 1440 pixels for example, but if Full HD is good enough for the iPhone 6 Plus, there's no reason why it can't be good enough for the Mate S. It's a good looking display too, and that's the important point. We've not spent enough time with the Mate S to fully evaluate it, but the Amoled display is punchy. It's bright and vibrant, with colors popping out as you'd expect. It shows those Amoled characteristics of having inky dark blacks, and the viewing angles look good too. The display is topped with Gorilla Glass 4 to protect it, but it's also equipped with one of the Mate S's innovations, Force Touch. Before we talk about it, we need to clarify. The pressure-sensitive display isn't on all the Huawei Mate S models. This might not have been clear from the announcements, but it appears that the standard Mate S and the premium Mate S won't have this feature. However, there's a third luxury model that does, and that's the model that offers the 128 GB storage. All this may change over time, so bear with us. We've got our hands on the Force Touch model, and that opens up a range of opportunities for this device. Huawei Mate S hardware specs. Sitting at the heart of the Huawei Mate is a high-silicon Kirin 935 octo-core chipset, with Mali 628 GPU. This is from Huawei's own in-house chipset manufacturer, again one of the things that helps keep the costs under control. We've not had the Mate S long enough to evaluate its performance, but everything seems slick so far. Certainly performance on previous devices has been good enough. There's 3 GB of RAM and 128 GB of storage on this model, with micro SD card support too, although 32 and 64 GB models will be the norm. Huawei has a clever system in place to make this phone dual SIM. It has a single bay, and you have the option of putting in either a second SIM or a micro SD card. It's clever and handy, and more people should do this. Finally, there's a fingerprint scanner. This not only provides security and will work for payments in the future, but supports a number of gestures too. You can swipe through photos without touching the screen, or pull down the notifications, all on the scanner at the back. We've found unlocking to be really fast, and those extra features perhaps compensate for its positioning on the back. However, it doesn't require any additional button presses to unlock your phone. Simply lift it up and put your finger on the scanner and you're in. Huawei Mate S camera. Huawei has demonstrated that it can get good results from cameras. The Mate 7, P7, and recently P8 have all been good performers in a world that's getting increasingly good at taking photos. We've not had the chance to explore the 13-megapixel camera on the Mate S to any degree, but we'd expect a repeat performance. One of the interesting things is the light to support the front-facing 8-megapixel camera. This is designed to illuminate you in dark conditions for better results. That was also on the Honor 7, so if you're a fan of selfies, you might find this handy. We'll be giving the Huawei Mate S cameras a thorough testing in our full review that will follow closer to device launch. Huawei Mate S software. If there's an area that Huawei can go a little overboard, it's software. The Huawei Mate S launches on Android 5.1.1 Lollipop, but it's heavily customized with EMUI, Huawei's own skin. That adds a lot of additional control options as we've found on previous devices. It removes Huawei slightly from the Android pack where the trend is towards simpler UIs closer to stock Android, and we think that Huawei is missing a trick. Yes, there are some useful elements, and we're yet to explore the entirety of what's on offer here, but we do think that the Mate S would benefit from toning down the makeover. First impressions. First impressions of the Huawei Mate S are good. The build is good, the quality feels good, and there are some interesting additions to this handset. It might not boast the latest specs, such as the regular Full HD display, but it does look good and has been a slick performer in the time we've spent with it so far. The Huawei Mate S will be going on pre-order on September 15th, with wide rollout following. The standard Mate S, 32GB, will come in Gery and Champagne and will cost €649. The premium version, 3GB RAM, 64GB storage, will be gold and coral, for €699. Currently we don't know the details of the price or availability for the luxury 128GB model with pressure-sensitive display.